Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, connecting Central Illinois to the world with daily flights on American Airlines to hubs in Dallas and Chicago. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
Congressman Eric Sorensen urges the USDA to keep SNAP food funding available as a shutdown cutoff nears. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Tuesday, October 28th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with the temporary end of food assistance benefits if the federal government shutdown continues into the weekend. More from WGLT's Eric Stock.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it will suspend the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, starting November 1st until the government reopens. It's been closed since October 1st, making it the second longest shutdown in history. Central Illinois Congressman Eric Sorensen says the USDA has the money to at least cover part of November's SNAP funding and should use it for that. He sent a letter to Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins urging her to use that money to support veterans, seniors, and children during a critical time.
The price of groceries, it ain't coming down. It ain't coming down like we were promised.
The USDA squarely places blame for the shutdown on Senate Democrats. Democrats say they are fighting to avoid significant increases in health care costs that are coming through the Affordable Care Act. During a recent virtual town hall, the Democratic Congressman Sorensen said that blame is misplaced because they're not the party in power.
Republicans control the House, the Senate, the White House. They've got the majority in the Supreme Court. And so in shutting down the government instead of working with Democrats on a solution for affordable health insurance, it kind of seems like a folly to me.
Sorensen represents parts of Bloomington Normal. 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits, including nearly 2 million in Illinois. For The Leadoff, I'm Eric Stock.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. National Democrats are pushing for new Illinois congressional districts, but some Illinois Democrats are pushing back. Some black lawmakers are concerned about diluting black voters. Demolition is expected to begin today at the Front and Center building in downtown Bloomington. That long vacant eyesore will be turned into a new parking lot for now, with possible redevelopment later. And the Normal Town Council will meet for a work session tomorrow at 5 at City Hall to discuss the status of the long-delayed underpass project in Uptown Normal. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The Citizens Board with oversight of the Bloomington Police Department is struggling to perform its primary function. As WGLT's Lauren Mordecai reports, that's led to questions for and between members of Bloomington's Public Safety and Community Relations Board, or PSCRB.
Constituents have 30 days to appeal police complaints with the City of Bloomington. It's a tool available to those dissatisfied with the results of an internal review of complaints. One Bloomington man who met that deadline has since waited months for a response, and he is still waiting. Percy Buckley of Bloomington says he's anxious for the PSCRB to review an alleged battery earlier this year.
I'm not saying anything's your fault or anything. But I was here the last 2 meetings and nothing got accomplished. It's been 4 months since this incident happened, and that seems terribly long, terribly drawn out to me.
Police declined to pursue charges against a man who allegedly grabbed Buckley's daughter's neck. Buckley says officers ignored video evidence. Buckley's is the first complaint the board has considered in 2 years. It was first presented to them in August, but postponed since discussion wasn't put on the agenda in time. September's meeting was canceled due to lack of a quorum, and there's not much clarity as to when or how the board discusses these complaints and comes to a conclusion. Pastor William Bennett is a PSCRB board member.
I know we talked to the police department last time about the complaint. We asked questions. Okay. I don't remember after that having a committee conversation on whether we thought. So when would that conversation take place?
Possibly next month or maybe the one after that. The next 2 meetings are in a bit of limbo since they fall the day before Thanksgiving and Christmas. That means Percy Buckley will have to keep waiting.
I see a terrible mishap here, and I'm going to go peeved about it. Okay? So I don't know where else to go from here but show you a video.
They're not going to watch it. Chair Rachel McFarland reiterated the board's purview is limited in scope.
We do not reinvestigate the actions surrounding the complaint themselves. So we're not going to review evidence. We're not going to look at testimony. We're going to look at the complaint as it relates to the police procedures and policies that they have in place.
Victims' right advocate Amy Endicott of Bloomington-based Care for Victims says that should change. In a presentation to the board last week, she says there's public buy-in for giving the PSCRB more teeth, including having the authority to enact disciplinary action for officer misconduct. And she says the name should reflect that.
When we asked people if they had ever heard of or knew what the Public Safety Community Relations Board, or the PSCRB, was, no one had heard of it. No one knew what it was. No one knew what it did.
Endicott recommends calling the body the Police Review Board and changing procedures to take burden off of victims. A 60-day deadline, for example, gives more time for complainants to gather additional documents through public records requests. Whether or not such changes are possible is another matter. Again, Chair Rachel McFarland.
There may be some things on here that are pretty quick hitters, like an update to a website and things like that. We have to work with the city to do that. They have purview over that. But we can make recommendations for some of those quick hitters.
Others require action from Bloomington City Council and potentially require a budget or negotiation with the police officers union. But board member Art Taylor acknowledged change may be needed.
You are correct when you say that we began in one entirely different place, and where we are right now is far from where that began.
Taylor is an original member of the PSCRB, which formed in 2017. He urged Endicott to connect with other stakeholders who were key to the board's formation.
I understand that it's a hurdle. And the reason why I ask the questions that I do is because I know how difficult it was to even get the PSCRB on the books.
That's Lauren Warnicki reporting on the future of Bloomington's Public Safety and Community Relations Board. And before we let you go, the Connect Transit Board meets today at 4:30 at its Wiley Drive location. On the agenda is an update on the Downtown Transit Center and a fare policy change proposal. And that is it for today. I'm Ryan Denham, and the show is produced by Cheyenne Brown. You can subscribe to The Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.